Hi everyone, welcome back to our channel. So today we are diving into something super important, especially if you are visiting Canada and thinking about working here. So the main question is, can you turn your visitor visa into a work permit or not? So let's find out in today's video. So alright, a quick history lesson what happened back in 2022 August. So in August 2020, during the pandemic time, during the COVID-19 craziness, the Canadian government, what it did was it introduced a special policy. So a lot of visitors were there inside Canada during the pandemic and they were stuck inside Canada. Why? Because of the travel restrictions. There were no flights out, the borders were closed, so the whole deal. So IRCC, that is the Immigration, Refugee and Citizenship Canada, what they did is they stepped in. And they said, hey, if you are already in Canada on a visitor visa and you want to work, you can go ahead, you can apply for a work permit without leaving the country. Pretty cool. Otherwise, the rule is you should be outside the country to apply for a work permit. So at the time of pandemic, they stepped in, they made a new policy that yes, without leaving the country, you can apply for a work permit. Even better, one more policy they introduced at that time was that if you were a foreign national who was stuck inside Canada, but you had a work permit in the previous 12 months, but now after the expiry of your work permit, you had to switch your status to the visitor status. So in this scenario, you can start working again while waiting only for your new work permit to be approved. So no sitting around with doing nothing. This policy was a total game changer. So yeah, August 2020, two things were introduced. First, that if you were stuck inside Canada on a visitor, you can apply a work permit without leaving the country. But yes, you had to meet the other eligibility criteria too. And second was if you had a work permit in the last 12 months, but stopped working due to the expiry of your work permit and you changed your status to visitor, then again you can apply for the work permit. And even while you are waiting for the work permit, even though it is not approved, you can start working. So yes, this was the background. So now what is happening, the current situation. So then fast forward to today and things have changed just a little. So you can still apply for a work permit as a visitor in Canada. So yes, this is the good news that yes, you can still apply for a work permit as a visitor in Canada, but now the online application option has closed for this pathway. So this is the only change. There is a huge hype that okay, now visitor to work policy is removed, we can now no longer apply the work permit. So the thing is that only the online application has been closed for this pathway. So don't worry, though you can still flagpole your way into a work permit. Sounds funny, I know, but it's actually a very common process. So flagpoling means you leave Canada and then you re-enter at a border to get your new permit. So a lot of people do this at the US border. It's a super quick way to switch your status while staying close to Canada. So it's just a one-day process. You exit the Canadian border, you enter the US, then you come back to the Canada border and your work permit gets issued. So yes, the online application is only closed, but there is no impact on the flagpoling. So if you are inside Canada as a visitor and you want to convert to a work permit, you would want to apply for a work permit, flagpoling option is still very much available. Now the thing is how this policy helps employers and also how it impacts you. So why does Canada do this? Simple. The country needs skilled workers. The country needs skilled workers and it's way easier for employers to hire someone who is already in Canada than going through all the hassle of finding someone who is residing abroad. So suppose a Canadian employer wants to hire, you want to fill in one of their positions. So what they prefer, someone who is already inside Canada or someone from other country. So they want to save themselves of those hassles and they prefer hiring someone who is already inside Canada. So yes, it's a win-win situation for the employer and for you. You get a work permit and Canadian employers, they get the talent that they need. Now talking about the steps to apply, let's break it down. So first is you get a job offer. Yes, the job offer should be from a Canadian employer. This is your first step to success, bagging a job offer. So the next thing is the LMIA process. So your employer might need to get an LMIA, that is the Labour Market Impact Assessment, which is basically an approval from Canada that yes, they need to hire a foreign worker, they are eligible to hire a foreign worker. But yes, don't stress, this is their job, the employer's job, not yours. So the third one is flagpole. No online application, flagpole at the border. So the third option is flagpole at the border. You have to go to the Canadian border to do the flagpoling process. Yes, once approved, congratulations, you are officially allowed to work in Canada. Because in flagpoling, you go and the same day, very same time, you get your work permit in your hand. Not like online application where you have to wait. So yes, then you will be officially allowed to work in Canada, and there you have it. Yes, this was all about the Canada Visitor to Work Permit policy. So don't go by the hype that this policy is now closed and nothing can be happened. Only the online application part is closed. Flagpoling is still open. So you can, if you are a visitor inside Canada, you can still flagpole and change your status to a worker. So yes, if you found the video helpful, give it a big thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button for more information on Canadian immigration. And yes, drop any questions in the comments if you have. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.